What's cooking, Juventus fans? Welcome back to your old lady's favorite YouTube channel. Today, I just want to take a second, tell everybody to calm down, chill out, take a second, take a breather, and just collectively laugh at the Figc prosecutor's office for their pathetic attempts at trying to bring down the old lady, and once again, just exposing the corruption that continues to go on in the Italian football world. Only thing I have to say to them is, stand there, hold that L, stick with us, we'll fill you in. Ciao ragazzi, welcome back to the Bianconeri. My name is Justin Sofro. Today, it's Friday, April 15, 2022. And of course, I got your latest rundown of all things Juventus, all the news that you care about each and every day. Make sure first we do anything, go ahead and smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. I'm going to hold on just for a second, just give you a little bit of time to hit that like button. I just ask you, please hit the like button. It really helps our channel continue to grow, and it's just an easy way back. It's free content, guys, right? Just hit the like button. Just do that for us. Speaking of which, also, if you guys don't mind, make sure you follow me on Twitter at JustinSofro as well. All right, let's go ahead and just dive into it. And the very first news story of the day, of course, is talking about the Figc and the nonsense that went on with the federal prosecutor's office. Gazzetta dello Sport is here reporting that the plusvalenze all acquitted. The TFN decides not to sanction Juventus, Napoli, and the other 9 clubs involved. The requests of the public prosecutor's office have not been accepted. And they're not being accepted because they're absolutely ridiculous. You can't come after a club for something that doesn't have a regulating rule on it. It doesn't make any sense for them. The entire thing that they were trying to do was fraudulent. It was corrupt. It was myopic. It makes no sense. First of all, when you're talking about the rule, the idea of it in general, there's no rule regulating the sales of players when it comes to that. There is no, I mean, if you want to put a cap on the value of players or something like that, fine. Have somebody out there, have a professional agency go out there and rate players just like you would, I guess, if you're selling a house, if you're selling whatever have you. Go out there and be like, this can only be, just like a bank would do when you want to try to, get a mortgage to buy a house. They give you the option of this is how much that we say it's worth. Go get an appraisal. Go get an appraisal for these players. If that's what you're going to do, you're going to have a regulating appraiser to go out there and tell you how much these players are worth. If you're not doing that, this is what you have right now. You have Juventus out there, and also, it's a free market, right? When you go out there and you're trying to buy players, the way that it works is supply, demand. Juventus want good players worth more money. Juventus want to sell players. They want, if some of these clubs want some of these players, and there are multiple people trying to go after the Manettis, the Fagiolis of the world, more money because competition. That's how this works. Like, take an economics class, right? Anyway, it's ridiculous. The main point that I want to get across when it comes to this is that this just reeks. It reeks of the continued corruption of Italian football and the Italian football wanting to shoot itself in the collective foot. And it makes no sense to me why we sit here today, once again, with these current issues that continues to come and try to snipe Juventus. It's always coming after Juventus. Yeah, I know Napoli and Swamp Man or whatever included in this. I'm not defending them. I will never defend De Laurentiis and anything with him and the Detroit of Italy. I'm good. That's not me, bro. But what I will say is that if you really want to set some regulations on this, fine. But there's no way that you can tell me that any of these players, they're not paying Ronaldo money for these players, right? And I mean, at the same time, would you not go out there and say that Ronaldo should be valued higher? Is that what you would do? Or lower, I guess? So you're going to say you can't pay him that kind of money? It makes no sense. I ranted on enough about this part. The part that I really want to get to, though, is you just keep seeing these attempts. You keep seeing the Scooby-Doo villains that are the Figc, that are Italian football, that is Serie A, that is UEFA, come after Juventus. That's trying to attack Juventus, trying to harm Juventus. Year after year, decade after decade, you get more and more of this. You get the Calciopoli nonsense back in the 2000s, even go more recently. And you get people coming after Juventus because of the Luis Suarez passport debacle and all that nonsense. And still trying to harm Juventus after he wasn't even purchased by the club. Trying to align some kind of involvement there with the club. consistently, and then you go on the pitch and you see the nonsense there with Inter, and you see the way that these games are called, how they're not called fair. I'm not trying to be the guy who, yells and screams and cries about unfairness, but at some point you have to recognize, you have to recognize what is going on out there. It's ridiculous. And then you have this nonsense with the FIGC, and more stuff I'm sure will come down the pipe, because these guys are not going to quit. They're going to keep trying to come after Juventus. I would like to see an investigation be done on the people involved in either these claims and these attempted prosecution of Juventus. I mean, obviously the Calciopoli nonsense. Juventus won that Scudetto. It still counts to me. I'm still counting that one. I'm not counting Inter as winning that one. That's absolute crap. What I want to say, and I'm trying to think the best way to go about this, but what doesn't make sense to me is why are Italian. The people involved, not all Italians, obviously. I'm the Italian shill on the channel anyway. But why are the people involved with Serie A and Italian football overall so adamant and so sure of going after Juventus and wanting to hurt Juventus, the preeminent club of the entire league, the club that really is the moneymaker of the league? No offense, Venezia. Napoli, even lower level clubs, Bologna. Yeah, I said Napoli is the lower level club. You get what I'm doing. I'm being mean and ugly, right? But what I'm saying is all the small Bolognas, the Genoas of the world, all these clubs. Do you think people are tuning in to watch your games? Do you think people are tuning in to watch your games if it weren't for Juventus? Really? Like, all these other clubs that, I'm just naming out clubs. I'm not saying the ones that are involved or not involved, or the ones that are going after, but I'm saying the Inters. Do you think people give a damn about Inter compared to Juventus? Like, do you really think that the football landscape is focused in on Inter? It wouldn't be none of these clubs. The only one I want to give really credit to, I'll give to Milan. Milan's the only one that I'll give some credit to. They've done some things themselves, obviously winning Champions Leagues and stuff like that. They're the only one I kind of respect. My point is, quit trying to shoot yourself in the foot, just to try to make Juventus look bad. You don't realize you're doing yourself damage when Juventus gets hurt. If Juventus gets taken out of the league, if Juventus has any of these issues, you're only hurting yourself. Nobody's going to give a damn and watch any of your games. That'll do it. That's where I sit. The people involved in the prosecutor's office, I would like to see some of their credentials. I'd like to see an investigation done to see where their loyalties lie, if you will, to see where their biases maybe lie, and just would like to see that information. I think that would be interesting, right? Are they Inter fans? Are they whatever fans? I mean, come on. Anyway, or are they just old? Are they just old and outdated and just upset that people are getting money? It could be that. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Let's run through the actual news of the day. And, of course, I forgot the pronunciation on this guy already. But talking about players that Juventus not wanting to overspend or over whatever when it comes to money, Paulo Namolo is reporting that on the 10th and 11th of April, Cherubini and a club representative were in Monte Carlo to meet with the agents of Benoit Badiashile. And I hope I said that right. I tried it. Anyway, the 21-year-old left-footed center back. This is an option Juventus are looking at highly right now, especially given that Rudiger is pricing himself out. Right now, I think this guy is looked at somewhere between like 25-30 million euros about his value that he is right now. Obviously, that would be, if you're going to get Rudiger, you just got to pay 20 million just for a little like signing bonus fee on top of the 12 that he's asking per season. So could be a better option. He's a young player, plays for the under 21, the French national team. I think he's a good option. Definitely something to look out for there in the future. Next up, another young option that Juventus is looking at is, of course, that we're talking about Raspadori. I don't know why I stuttered there for a second, but Raspadori. We know Juventus are interested in him. Tutto Sports reporting that the meeting between Juventus and Sassuolo for Raspadori should take place when the two teams meet in Serie A. It will be to understand in detail the situation and the margins of negotiation. Juventus are convinced about the deal, also thanks to the positive reports given by the teammates Bonucci and Chiellini, who have praised, beyond the technical qualities, his behavior. So they're really big on, and that's actually I like that kind of note. Chiellini, Bonucci, obviously, veterans of Italian football and veterans of Serie A and Juventus. They really could see that his behavior is good. And what have we heard? Negative things about behavior. When I say that is mature players. They believe Raspadori is mature compared to maybe, unfortunately, a player who I was happy that he was coming back, but he has not panned out and he's been immature. The likes of, Moise Kean, unfortunately, and players like that. Players that just don't stick. Balotelli, obviously, is a player that I like, but I also realize that he has behavior issues. So if we can get a guy like that, Raspadori could be a good option for the future of not only Juventus, but Italian football as well. All right, let's continue on. Other Italian players that Juventus could be going after is that of Jorginho. Gazzetta dello Sport is reporting that there have been contacts between Juve and Jorginho's agent. The player is asking for a salary of 7 million euros. A lot will depend on Chelsea's situation. Obviously, given the situation with Russia and all that and the ownership of Chelsea being Russian, they're holding, freezing his assets, holding it. He can't even sell, buy, do any of that. So before Juventus even be able to purchase Jorginho, they would need to resolve that situation for Jorginho to come. He could be a good option as regista, and I think obviously looking at the options that Juventus have, he's one of the top options there in the midfield. That could be a big splash option for Juventus. You look at the hierarchy, I think obviously it's Milinkovic-Savic, then you got like Pogba right in there with him, and then like shortly below him you have Jorginho, and then obviously, I feel like put him on a separate little island because everybody agrees and everybody wants him and everybody has love for our guy. Big Z is right there on this island of greatness. Scoring yesterday, scoring a hat trick. Don't look at the competition. Scoring a hat trick. Obviously, this is our guy. This is our man. Zaniolo will be coming to Juve, and you guys are all being excited about that. All right. Let's continue on, though. Tutto Sport also continues talking about Molina, saying that for Molina, a player who can cover all the roles of the right side, there are new contacts with Udinese, with Atletico also looking at him. So obviously Juventus are interested in Molina, potentially bringing him to Juventus. But one of the things I've heard, obviously with Atletico Madrid's interest, is that he actually might prefer to go to Atletico Madrid, one of the latest little rumors out there. So we'll see. There'll be something to monitor in that situation if that were to come to fruition. Next up, of course, we can't have a show now. It's been weeks. It's been weeks now of just talking about Milinkovic-Savic and his situation. And Gazzetta dello Sport has the latest update on him, saying that Milinkovic-Savic has been Allegri's choice for years. Paying his wage will be no problem, but dealing with Lotito will be. And of course, if you've watched this channel at all, yeah, you know that, right? Lotito is the biggest stumbling block to getting Milinkovic-Savic to come to Juventus. Hopefully, one of the things we could look at is maybe similar to the Locatelli situation, where Locatelli really wanted Juve and picked Juve and put his foot in the ground. Same as Vlahovic, put his foot in the ground. He wants to come to Juventus. This could be a situation where if Milinkovic-Savic decides, I want Juve, because obviously he has his brother playing for Torino. He could come to Turin. A lot of positives there for him. Maybe he could do that, and maybe that could really push the situation towards him being a Juventus player and Lotito having to come up with some kind of an agreement there. So definitely keep an eye on that. We'll see how that situation plays out for right now, but definitely we all know Lotito will be the issue. And then a positive or negative, depending on you all, but I think we all kind of know where this one's heading. Gazzetta dello Sports reporting makes it that Bernardeschi does not appear to be in Juve's long-term plans or plans for next season. The club has not contacted his agent to discuss a renewal. Latest we had heard on him was basically that Bernardeschi he's now bending a little bit of a knee and is open to the idea of taking less money instead of the $4.5 million that he really wanted. Juventus are not going to be here for it. They're not going to play with that. And I feel like at this point, maybe Cherubini and Arriva Bene are making the Paulo Dybala decision with him and just deciding, we're good. I think it's better you just find your own place. I don't even think we want to come down to that. So we'll see. Right now, there's been no contacts, but it's getting near the end of the season. If no contacts continue right now, it doesn't seem likely to me. And then the final bit of news for the day is after Pedin and Quadrado, now it's Badiashile who is getting this renewal. This is coming from Romeo Agnelli, who's reporting that Badiashile is closer to getting to the renewal. The line on figures and duration have been drawn. Now we wait for the club to formalize the offer to get to the signature. So anytime now, he'll be signed on, I think, for another like 2 years at about $2 million per season. He's been a solid option there at the right back. He can also play a little bit of left back if needed, but definitely been a solid option there when he's been utilized this season, thanks to maybe Allegri's return. Definitely got a lot more out of him than you saw with Sadi in times before, or times around then. So anyway, let me know your thoughts. That'll do it for the news today on all the topics we talked about today. Do you want to dance on Figc's grave or their attempts to try to do that to Juventus? Do that in the comment section. Feel free, as well as the other topics we talked about. Raspadori, the youth French player, potentially could come to Juventus, as well as Jorginho too. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you haven't already, please hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. Also, make sure you follow Bianconeri Zone at Bianconeri Zone, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and follow me at Justin Sofro on Twitter as well. I'll see you guys next time. Forza Juve, Forza Bianconeri.